Hey everybody, and welcome to Don't Copy That Floppy. I'm your host Lex.
I'm your other host Dan.
It's August 25th, a Thursday this time, not a Friday.
We're a day early.
And we're Don't Copy That Floppy, a video game news podcast, broadcasting live, usually on Fridays from 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, but this week things are a little off, because life happens.
I got shit to do. You can deal with it.
You got paper plates up the wazoo. I saw them.
I'm important.
Yeah. Picnics.
My time is for me.
My time is for me. But we've got all sorts of cool video game news to talk about this week.
Yes,
Dan, what is some of it?
We're going to talk a lot about Sony and PlayStation.
Oh, yes.
In many different capacities. We also got to talk a little bit about Zenimax and the drama surrounding them and Oculus Rift creator John Carmack.
Zenimax was turned into 11.
They did. Shit's getting intense. Talk about a bunch of upcoming games, add-ons to games. We have... Oh, my favorite. Time Magazine's top 50 video games of all time.
Don't worry, they put on their seatbelt. They're safe.
They're very, very safe. But yeah, that's about it. And then we have our voting stories. As always, if you are a Patreon donator to us, you get the privilege of voting on a few stories we select every week and deciding which one of those we talk about. We had a tie this week.
A tie?
So if we have time, we're going to talk about both stories that got voted on. But that's time permitting. Otherwise, we'll do a snap decision and flip a coin or just pick one.
We should flip a coin. That's a good idea.
Yeah. I don't think I have a coin near me, but we'll flip something.
But you should definitely check us out on Patreon. Support the show. Donate a little money every month. It would hugely help us out. Allow us to do more content. Expand the content we have.
I think right now we hit the amount of money we needed to do a Twitch stream, which I was valiantly trying to get up and running.
Yeah, Dan.
Before the show tonight.
Dan was trying all day. He couldn't figure it out. There are technical problems.
I figured it out, but it won't let me.
Well,
it won't let me do it.
It's just like, no.
It just doesn't want to.
But we'll figure that out eventually, and we'll get it. We'll get going. But yes, we got that. We also do live chat during the show.
Yep.
So you can actually chat with us right now if you want, if you're listening.
We are on the chat on chipit.net. Our proud and lovely host.
Oh, yeah.
Over in the UK.
Over in the UK.
Across the pond.
Have some biscuits.
Yeah, and chips.
And chips.
But that kind of chip.
Yeah, that kind of biscuit. Oh my gosh. But no, we're also, so in addition to finding us on Patreon and on chipit.net, we're on all sorts of social media, such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Steam, iTunes, all those places. You can find us all on all those places. So you can subscribe to us on iTunes. You can see our full show archive up there. You can also rate us and leave us a review there. We'd super appreciate it.
Yes, indeed.
Also, you can subscribe to us on YouTube, and we have the new episodes also get uploaded there as videos. And on Facebook, we're always posting new stuff about stories that we're going to talk about at the end of the week. So you can keep informed there, and you can also interact with us on that, and Twitter as well, where we repost a lot of those same stories, and you can also interact with us there and follow us there. So
do whatever you want, whatever you like,
whatever you
get in touch with us. We love to talk to you.
We'd love it.
Let's jump right into the PlayStation and Sony stories that we have this week, because there's a bunch of them, and a lot of them are kind of related. But it's just general Sony. Lots of things are happening with Sony right now.
Basically, Sony's big press conference is next week or 2 weeks away. It's like pretty soon.
Oh, I have no idea. I didn't know.
Oh yeah, no, they have a press conference coming up like real soon, and I can't remember the exact date on it.
Is it PlayStation Experience?
Probably. But there's all sorts of rumors swirling around right now that like these are the things they're going to talk about, and it's gotten to the point where we pretty much know these are the things they're going to talk about because the leaks have been substantiated enough.
Yeah.
But
since you're talking about the stuff that's getting leaked, we'll get into that story first.
Oh, okay, sure.
Because I have a bunch of other stuff that's not like leaks. It's just information.
Just like certified information. We don't talk about.
It's just important, valuable information.
We don't talk about real facts on this show.
Yeah,
we're video game journalists.
Although this one from Eurogamer. Is from Eurogamer on August 22nd, is a story about the PS4 Slim and the confirmation that the PS4 Slim is in fact real.
Oh my god, it's real!
Just like the Xbox One S. Yeah.
Although, to be fair to Sony, I mean, they did the whole Slim model first.
Yeah, they did it first.
So, I assumed they were going to do it again. But yeah, so this is a pretty sweet story, right? So it's in the UK.
Yeah, this is fun.
And it's, this guy is on a website called Gumtree. I should have checked out that site, because I just really want to see what it looks like, because it's called Gumtree. But it's a site in the UK where you can sell stuff. And
it's like Craigslist.
Yeah, I assume it's like a Craigslist type thing.
Yeah.
And someone had posted this thing on it, and he's like, "Hey, I got a PS4 Slim on here if you want to buy it."
It's got pictures like, "Oh, check it out! It's so cool."
Here's the box. Here's the model. Here's it from all different angles.
Everything about it.
I forget how much he was listing it for, but it wasn't like an absurd amount of money.
No.
It was like, oh no, where is it? It's got to be in here somewhere. Maybe it was somewhere else.
I don't think it actually says in this particular article.
I think it was like some weird thing, like $380 or something.
Is what it came out to.
Yeah. So it wasn't that much. I mean, it was for a leaked prototype of a console. That's a pretty good deal. So this guy who's on that site was like, "Oh, I'm gonna buy that. I'm gonna buy it up right now because I got the cash. Why not?"
Yeah.
So he did.
He bought it.
And then he used it, and he was like, "No, you guys, seriously, this is a PS4."
Real. And then Eurogamer, intrepid heroes of journalism that they are,
they called him up
and were like, "Yo, dude, can we come to your house to play PlayStation?"
Yeah, can we go to your house to play PlayStation?
And the guy was like, "Yeah, brah." And they went over, and they were like, "Wow, it is real. We were playing the PlayStation 4 Slim at this man's house."
Yep. They took these great...
That's journalism.
It is. That's awesome. That's why I'm a video game journalist, because I want to be able to do things like that.
Eurogamer, you guys are cool.
But no, I like how some of the pictures that they took that I remember seeing were like the guy's flat screen television on its little like stand that it was on, and then all of the little like platforms for different appliances underneath it were all cleared off.
So
and
you could tell
that
what you're looking at.
Yeah, it's just the PS4 Slim, and you can see the wires that are running from it to the TV, and there's no wires coming from anywhere else.
So the speculation here, people weren't sure they were going to do a PS4 Slim because they announced the Neo, which is like the more powerful PS4 console. Neo.
The PS4 Keanu Reeves.
And people weren't sure if they were going to do a Slim. But apparently this Sony event on September 7th in New York, many believed they were going to, or I guess it is set to announce the more powerful PS4, codenamed Neo, and this PS4 Slim. But people were like, I don't know, PS4 Slim is real, but it's totally real now. So they're obviously going to show it at that event. It'd be kind of silly if they did not. So Sony keeping pace with Microsoft over there. Will Neo be able to defeat Scorpio?
I don't know.
Probably.
Yeah, maybe.
PS4 is doing a lot better at this
point. It's doing a lot better. So... Oh, can I point out, I forgot to mention this earlier, but the Twitter handle for the guy who bought it is Shortman82. Great. It's so good.
Thanks, Shortman82. Big Hey Arnold fan.
You're a big hero to us. So we're gonna see it. I assume that it was like stolen from a warehouse. Because how else would that guy have gotten that copy originally?
I guess.
And then once he stole it from the warehouse, why did he just...
sell it for a reasonable sum of money?
I think that the thing was, it was a guy that didn't know what he had, and he was like a crook, a criminal.
I'm gonna steal this PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
I'm gonna sell it.
And then I'm gonna sell it online.
For 300 buckaroos.
Sell this hot PlayStation 4 online. And then the person who bought it was like, dude, you know this isn't like something that's on the market yet, right? I'm willing to bet that that was like something along those lines is what happened.
Yeah, you're probably right. Because that makes a lot of sense. PlayStation has also announced that PlayStation Now, which is their game streaming service, I believe.
Yeah.
That I forgot even existed, is going to be jumping to Windows PC. In parts of Europe and North America, you can get this app that lets you play your PlayStations on the computer.
Wow.
Wow. It includes Uncharted Gods of War, Ratchet Clank. And beloved PS3 games like The Last of Us and Journey. Current subscribers have a new way to access PS Now's library of over 400 games. This is an article from PlayStation.blog.
It's an announcement.
Yeah, August 23rd. It's just like, hey, you can do this on your computer now.
But
here are the recommended specs.
Oh my gosh, the recommended specs. Do you meet them? You need Windows 8 or 10. Service Pack 1, though, so don't worry.
I think I'm okay.
A 3.5 gigahertz Core i3.
2 gigabytes or more of RAM!
That's insanity. I can't handle that. You need a USB port.
Oh,
what?
Sound card.
It's a sound card. I like how those are listed. Like, you guys, if you don't have a USB port.
You need 300 megabytes of storage space, guys. Clear those hard drives.
I'll have to hook up my my zip disk drive so that I can have enough storage space.
It's funny when you see stuff like this, because when I was on Steam and went to buy Undertale and stuff, I looked at the computer specs and I was like, why am I checking the specs for Undertale?
You think you're not gonna be able to run Undertale?
Yeah, like,
that'd be a sad day if you couldn't run Undertale.
Yeah, for real.
Like, why are you using that hunk of metal? Just throw it out.
That's terrible.
No, but one of the other fun things that they talked about, and kind of a way to price gouge people, but they're saying, hey, you can play these PS4 games on your computer now, so obviously you want to use a PS4 controller, right? Everybody? Duh.
Shut up, idiot. That's what I said.
Yeah.
Sony, you're so stupid. Tell me more.
So then Sony was like, well, if you want to hook up that controller, you need a sweet dongle.
Get that dongle.
Oh, so good. So this is...
Stick it in there, light it up, play your games.
This is what you need the USB port for those who weren't paying attention earlier.
This is cool, though, because it's makes connecting your PS4 controller to the computer ridiculously easy.
Oh yeah, and these already existed for even going as far back as the Xbox 360's wireless controllers. There are dongles that you can buy that are USB that plug into your
That is correct.
Computer. So it was
that makes sense because it's Microsoft.
Yeah, But yeah, so it's a very sleek looking dongle, I'll give it that. I'm never going to stop calling it a dongle though. But it's funny, it just plugs into your USB port and then it's just a little stick with like a blue light at the end of it.
Now I'm assuming that this can handle like up to 4 controllers at once.
Oh, I wouldn't assume that.
You assume this is for one controller?
Maybe.
That's bullshit.
Of course it is, but they're trying to price gouge you.
They need to say that you need 4 USB ports.
Oh, that's true.
That's super unreasonable.
So
this thing better support more than one controller.
It better. But no, so this is a $25 item. Or $30 in, what is that?
Canadian dollars.
Canadian dollars.
CAD.
Everything's more expensive in Canada.
I gotta look this up. I gotta look this up on GameStop. Hashtag GameStop.
Hashtag GameStop.
Please give us money.
Your one-stop shop for video games and t-shirts now.
Product details.
Didn't you know? But yeah, so the only thing that annoys me about this...
Connectable device. 1.
I told you.
I
told you.
That's crap. I hate this now.
I told you.
I don't want this anymore. I was seriously considering getting this because I could play like 2-player games on the computer. Nope. No such luck. Thanks, Sony. You suck.
You gotta have a bunch of USB ports.
Yeah, you're terrible, Sony. I hate you now.
But no, this is obviously
just the worst.
This is obviously a price gouge, not just because of that, but because it's $25 for a dongle.
And Sony's done this before, though. Have you seen the prices of Vita memory cards?
No, I have not.
They're obscene.
Because Dan, Vita means life, so I don't have one.
Well, I do have a Vita. And the memory cards for the Vita are absurd. Like we're talking like $75 for like a 16 or 32 gig card. That's crazy. It's absolutely nuts. Yeah, that's more than a game.
That's like really
it's
like not very much storage space for a ton of money.
It's real bad. We got some other Sony stuff. So Sony, you're dead to me, first of all.
But expect all of these updates we've just given you and more at their Sony event.
Yeah. I can tell in that press release they really didn't want to tell us that it was only one controller. But I knew specs had to be somewhere. So, this is actually important information about PlayStation Network. It is now finally getting 2-factor authentication. So there is now more security on your PSN account. Finally. After numerous huge data leaks and hacks,
Oh, yeah.
they are actually doing this. More than 4 months after they confirmed to Polygon, because there's an article on Polygon from today, the 25th, that they were preparing to offer the feature. It's been available on Xbox Live via Microsoft accounts for more than 3 years, and Valve added the feature to Steam accounts last year. So basically, this means that it's a two-step verification. So it's either factors of like something you know, your existing login details, for example, or a second piece of information from your phone, like something you have, like a 6-digit code generated by an authenticator app or a text message. So if you decide that you want more security on the PSN, which you probably do, you can go sign up for this. And once you sign in with your username and password, you then have to type in this extra code to complete the login process. It's obviously much more secure, since a person who's trying to hack your account would also need your phone in order to access your account. So good job, Sony. You finally got up to snuff on security for your online service.
Finally.
Good job. But this is a double-edged sword, because along with this authentication comes a price hike.
Oh, come on. Really?
PSN is going up for $10 to $60 from $50 for 1 year, to $25 from $18 for 3 months, and to $9.99 a month, which is no change in price, actually, for the lowest.
Oh, okay. But oh my god, those other price changes are steep.
Current subscribers will be hit with pricier fees after renewing their accounts. That'll be the first time they're expected to pay more. Those who are unhappy with the new prices may cancel their membership, and in doing so, forfeit their Plus privileges. These include games given away to subscribers every month, as well as online multiplayer access. Discounts are regularly offered to Plus members on PlayStation Store as well. So basically, they're like, if you don't like it, you can get out.
The 1-year subscription increased $10.
Increased $10. I mean, the 3-month price hike is way worse than that. Because that was $18 going up to $25.
Oh, yeah.
It's a $7 increase on an $18 service.
Oof.
That's huge. And that sucks, too, because that's like the one I would usually get.
For 3 months.
Yeah, but now I'm just going to probably do it like month by month if I want to.
You gotta.
Because I don't play online enough. So that sucks. What also maybe sucks is Sony's refund policy.
Didn't we debunk this story?
We sort of debunked it.
Okay.
And this article actually goes into the debunking of it.
Oh.
This Destructoid article. So this is a Destructoid article from the 20th. Titled, Sony's Refund Policy Under Scrutiny After No Man's Sky Launch. So basically, No Man's Sky has come out. It has not lived up to the hype that people drummed up about it. Because how could it ever?
No, it really wasn't.
Literally
bad.
impossible. Because people, they'd say, oh, you can do this. And people go, are you saying that I can do anything I want? They're like, no, not really. These are the things you can do in the game.
Sean was like, no, you guys.
So I can do anything I want. Yes. You can do anything you want.
Well, I think it was partly that Sean Murray being like, no, you guys, you can't do anything. And they were like, so we could do anything we want. And then the Sony executives were like, don't worry, everyone. You can do anything you want.
Maybe there's multiplayer. There's not multiplayer. So basically, a lot of people have been disappointed with No Man's Sky. If you bought the game through Steam, that's no problem. They give the full refund for the game as long as you're under 2 hours playtime. Although a lot of people have been burning out on this game around the 10-hour mark, in which case, tough cookies.
That still seems far too short for me. The 10-hour mark.
I mean, people are different.
Everybody's got their own ways.
Everybody's different. So basically, there have been numerous cases before this where people have had a hard time getting a refund from Sony. Even in cases of fraud and theft. The return policies were actually investigated by a British consumer advocacy show called Watchdog over a year ago.
Oh.
But things haven't really changed much. If you don't want a digital game, you do have some options to cancel the purchase, but they're far more restrictive than what Steam requires. The PSN Store policy reads, you can cancel a digital content purchase within 14 days from the date of transaction, provided that you have not started downloading or streaming it. Digital content you have started downloading, streaming, and in-game consumables that have been delivered are not eligible for refund unless the content is faulty. You can cancel your purchase of a season pass within 14 days, provided you have not started downloading, yada, yada, yada. Well, similar to Steam policy, the big difference is that things you've downloaded are no longer eligible for a refund. And the way the PlayStation Store works is you buy a thing, and then you can choose if you want to download it or not.
Ah.
So you can own it without actually downloading it onto your system.
Okay.
What apparently isn't mentioned in the policy, or was believed wasn't mentioned in the policy, is that if you do get a refund, regardless of the case, you are blacklisted from ever purchasing or playing that title again. So, Eurogamer reported that consumers who had spoken to Sony on getting refunds for No Man's Sky were told that they could do so, but that they would never be able to play the game on their consoles again. The author of that Eurogamer piece spoke with a PS4 user who goes by the name of Blastiel. And Blastiel said that he was told he couldn't rebuy it off the store digitally, and he couldn't buy a physical copy because whatever system they employ in the background wouldn't let me run it. They delete the license from your account, which seems to put a block on it. He said he would be happy to buy No Man's Sky at a later date if it were improved, like the promised features were put in, like more of them, if the crashing was fixed and stuff, because those things do get fixed over time. But he didn't really want to get his money back and then never be able to play it again. He believes that this practice was pretty underhanded. And a lot of people have been citing like deceptive advertising and things like that in their seeking of refunds, and saying like, I like the game, but I feel though I paid, in this case, £50 for a game that isn't finished. But he doesn't want to give up the right to not play it ever again. Sony was reached for comment by Eurogamer and told people that players who got a refund for No Man's Sky would be able to rebuy and play the game in the future, contrary to what their representatives have previously stated. It was noted, however, that all the consumers that they had spoken to about the refunds had elected to drop the matter of it rather than take the chance of permanently losing access. So it's kind of it's hit a gray area here. Because they say, Sony told us we'd get blacklisted. And then Sony said, we never said you'd get blacklisted. You can buy it. But none of the people who were told this decided to get the refund. So we don't know if they got blacklisted or not.
Ah.
So that's the problem here. And this article ends with the phrase, let the buyer beware. Which I suppose is apt here.
Yeah.
Like, be careful what you purchase. Do some research.
I do like how everyone's like, man, I just paid full price for a game that isn't finished. And I'm like, well, yeah, you bought a AAA title.
Yeah, you bought a modern video game. Congratulations.
Yeah. I don't know what you were expecting, but...
Yeah. So, who knows if Sony's refund policy is as horrific as it sounds?
It's probably not.
Probably not.
Because that sounded crazy. And the fact
that sounds insane.
And the fact that they were immediately like, no, that's not true.
And the fact that they would bar you from giving them the money again?
That's silly. Of course they want that money.
Yeah.
They love it. they swim in pools of it. That's what Sony executives do.
Probably.
I've seen the footage.
Probably.
Yeah.
You've probably seen it.
I've allegedly seen it.
Allegedly. Speaking of shady practices.
Oh my god.
We have an update to a previously covered story about Zenimax starting a lawsuit against John Carmack and now Palmer Luckey, creators of Oculus Rift, actually John Carmack, creator of Oculus Rift. Now I can't remember what Palmer Luckey did. He did other VR stuff. They basically said ZeniMax has directly now accused Palmer Luckey and John Carmack of stealing information from them regarding VR.
They were already suing because I believe the original suit was just that they had been like, hey, Carmack worked for a subsidiary of us.
He was fired, wasn't he?
I don't know if he was fired or not.
I thought he was fired.
Maybe. But,
or he just left.
Yeah, I mean, either way, he was working for us, or for a subsidiary of us, while he was working on Oculus.
Yeah. That's
not cool, because you can't have non-compete clauses in contracts are a thing. Blah, blah, blah. But now it's gotten deeper. Now they've said, hey, you were working for us it was id Software, I believe? Mm-hmm. Yes. So you were working for us at id Software back in the day, and id Software was developing VR tech, and then you stole all of it and then you went and you made Oculus. How could you, John Carmack? And I'm like, that's weird that you guys are bringing this up now, but never mentioned it before.
Yeah, but it's also, they're making, like, gross accusations here.
They're real.
For this to not be, like, if this ends up not being true, then they're in deep doo-doo.
That's some serious slander that they're throwing
That's
around.
like, for real. Because they're flat out saying that John Carmack, after leaving the company, returned to his workspace.
Oh, yeah, after...
And literally just copied tons of files off his computer and took, like, equipment from the company.
Literal theft.
Like, literal theft. They said he just came in and he took everything.
This isn't some light theft like when you're downloading the D&D movie in 720p off of a BitTorrent. No. This is like you walked into the place and just took equipment.
Right. And originally it seemed like their accusation was just, hey, he's using intellectual property, like, concepts that we have a copyright on already. Because we were developing this stuff, and now he's doing it. But now they're saying, no, he stole it from us, physically and literally.
Yeah. All the things we were developing, he took them from us. Which is why we never finished developing them, because he took them.
Which is a huge accusation to make, as we've said. So Zenimax is seeking a trial by jury to, like, decide this. And they are also suing Palmer Luckey, who's the founder of Oculus, saying that he knowingly utilized stolen VR technology to create the Rift VR headset.
So not only did...
Because when he founded Oculus, they were already working on VR. Zenimax was.
Yeah. No, but I like how their thought process here with Palmer Luckey is like, okay, so John Carmack came in the dead of night and stole all this stuff and then brought it to you
Palmer Luckey.
And then said, hey, Palmer Luckey, I just stole all this sweet stuff. Let's make some VR with it. Palmer Luckey was like, yeah, dude.
Oh, yeah.
Let's take a rip first. And then they did.
This VR is lit.
Yeah. And then they made some sick VR.
They did it. Some dank VR. So this got hot. This whole situation is, like, popping off now. Like, what's gonna happen?
Oh, and I should point out that this is from an article from GameSpot from August 22nd.
Yes.
And there was an update to it, which is pretty much just GameSpot reached out to Oculus, and they did not get in touch with Palmer Luckey or Carmack, but instead they got a spokesperson, which was kind of silly. And the spokesperson just said, this complaint filed by Zenimax is one-sided and conveys only Zenimax's interpretation of the story. We continue to believe this case has no merit, and we will address all of Zenimax's allegations in court. So that's a very canned legal response, and they're probably saying it specifically because there's going to be a trial on this, and we're not going to throw around any more sound bites before the trial.
Right.
And that's fair. That's a fair position to take. But on the other hand, I really wish that comment had come from Palmer Luckey or John Carmack instead of a generic spokesperson. That's the only thing that bugs me about it, I think.
Yeah. Because on the one hand, I want to believe that this is just a ridiculous accusation. Because Zenimax is a giant evil company. That is known.
It is known.
It is known they are a giant evil company who buys video game companies and folds them to make a buck. They almost destroyed Obsidian Software.
My god, thank goodness Obsidian survived.
Barely. They needed to kickstart Pillars of Eternity to even make it.
But they did
They did it.
They did it, and now they're better than ever.
But that's after Zenimax, like, gutted the company.
Yeah.
They're horrible. They're like the textbook evil company. So I want to think that they're in the wrong here, but I just cannot believe that they, before a court case, would make these accusations if they weren't true. Because if this stuff's proven to be false, like, they're screwed with the accusations they've made.
Well, they can, I mean, the thing that we don't hear about in this story, and I'm kind of waiting to happen, is for Oculus to countersue for defamation?
Yeah.
Or I would guess it would be John Carmack to countersue for defamation. But we haven't heard anything about that yet.
Nope.
And that doesn't mean that he's guilty.
No, it doesn't.
But it does mean that, like, if Zenimax is just straight up lying, they're not going to get in as much trouble as they could have, or they're not going to get hit in the pocketbook as hard as they could.
Also, John Carmack's like a really smart guy. He's like wicked smart, and I just feel like
smart enough to be a thief,
maybe, but also smart enough to maybe not do the things they said he did.
Yeah,
because it's kind of dumb. But who knows? Maybe he was in a fit of nerd rage.
I have this vision of John Carmack just like breaking into the Zenimax.
Tiny, skinny John Carmack.
Yeah, breaking into id Software at like 3 a.m. with like a ski mask on, and he's got one of those little glass cutters, so he cuts the hole in the window. and then he crawls in, and he uses some aerosol to like see where the laser grid is, so he could do cartwheels over it. Yeah,
absolutely,
that'd be great.
That'd be terrific.
Oh no! But enough about that. Who watched the Olympics?
I kind of did.
I watched a little bit of it. Honestly, no one cares.
A lot of people care.
No, I know a lot of people care, but our audience certainly does not.
Leslie Jones of Ghostbusters fame cares. She was watching women's volleyball all the time.
Oh.
Yep, she was in the crowd.
Well, good for her.
When the American team got smoked!
Oh, shit.
Brazil took them down. Got wrecked.
Dang.
They're like undefeated American team. Got defeated. I saw it happen. And I hate volleyball, so I didn't really care. But I just thought it was cool.
Wait, was it volleyball or was it beach volleyball?
Beach volleyball.
Because of course Brazil's going to win.
Of course they did. They're on the Rio de Janeiro beach.
Yeah. It's their home turf.
Beach volleyball. Yeah.
But anyway, something else happened at the Olympics, at the end of the Olympics, that I would argue is more interesting than the Olympics.
Many would.
And this is a story, we're going to be citing a story specifically out of Polygon from August 21st.
Although this was reported on everywhere.
Yeah, it was reported on everywhere. And it's about how in the closing ceremony,
they did the handoff.
And the people who are going to be doing the Olympics in 2020
is Tokyo. Japan. They're doing it.
So naturally, they had a little like 2-minute video that was just like a mashup of Tokyo, other parts of Japan, but mostly Tokyo. Athletes hitting balls, throwing balls around.
Anime clips.
And then brief anime clips,
and Doraemon doing things.
Oh, yeah.
Cat. And Mario jumping around. But all of the music, it was like this fast-paced, like funky jazz music.
Yeah.
And it showed all the people running, and everything was framed like an anime opening sequence.
It was.
And that combined with the music, I was just like, is this a preview for Persona 6?
It was so good.
It just looked like a Persona trailer.
Like it was like, wow, the Japanese definitely made this.
Yeah,
and then
it's awesome.
Then at the end of it, you see the Prime Minister of Japan in his car, and he's in Tokyo, and he's like, I'm not gonna make it to Rio in time.
I'm in Japan. What am I doing? I'm an idiot.
I didn't take a plane yesterday. That was a foolish mistake.
But it's okay though, because he transmogrified himself into Mario.
For some reason.
Into Mario, the oldest Mario brother.
And then he was oh yeah, also like all the athletes were throwing around this red ball.
It's the ball of
Olympics.
Hope.
So then that gets thrown to him as Mario.
And he's like, how am I gonna get here? And then Doraemon's like, I'm a cat robot who can make robot inventions, and he made a warp pipe.
He did.
And then Mario jumped on the warp pipe.
Don't forget, the warp pipe is a drill that drilled all the way through the center of the Earth.
To Rio.
So from Tokyo to Rio. They zoomed out and showed a little map of the cross-section of the Earth.
And all the people in the crowd were like, who the hell is that creepy cat thing?
That's what I was thinking, too, for a second.
Doraemon's a cultural icon.
Sure he is.
He is. His anime has like 1,700 episodes.
Whoa.
Don't even front.
So then Mario leaps down the tube, and he leaps...
And there's a big tube in Rio.
A real
one.
So then it cuts to real life in Rio at the live show.
and Prime Minister Shinzo Abe emerges from the warp pipe.
Wearing Mario's outfit, which then...
He casts off.
Within, like, less than a second, so you really don't get to see him wearing it for very long.
No, he was embarrassed.
He probably was. But he casts it off. It's like a one-piece, like, tearaway outfit, which is amazing.
And then he takes the hat off and, like, tips it.
Yeah.
And throws it away, and he holds up the orb.
He's got the orb. The orb
and then
of
all the
power.
souls start shooting out of it and, like, tearing the audience apart and feasting on their blood.
Very much like the end of
To
Raiders of
prepare
the
for
Lost Ark.
Yeah. They zoomed in on Leslie Jones' face, and she was like, "Ah!" and just started melting.
That last part might not have happened.
Maybe. But could you imagine? No, it was really cool. And all the, like, dance performance sequences they did for it were also really interesting. They did a ton of AR graphics on the stage.
Oh.
People were dancing in, and it was very neat. And they had some, like, kind of traditional sounding music mixed with, like, more modern music as well. It was very cool. Those Tokyo Olympics are going to be crazy.
Oh my gosh.
You know what's going to be weird is it's going to be the first Olympics in some time where it's in a safe place.
Oh, dang!
No, but seriously.
Yeah, no, that's kind of
There's so
true.
much problems with getting Rio prepared with, like, safety and crime, and Sochi in Russia was like,
Sochi.
oh, well, you're in Russia now, so have fun in the gulag.
Well, here's the thing. Don't worry.
Tokyo's, like, super safe.
Don't worry, they got 4 years to mess everything up. Because as we know from a very amazing manga and animated film known as Akira,
Oh, yeah.
they predicted the 2020 Olympics in Tokyo, and it was pretty dystopian when it was there.
Yeah.
Not to mention the giant, gross, psychic
Monster
techno baby. But even besides that, it was still kind of dystopian, so I feel like Tokyo, they can do it. They put their minds to it.
Believe in them.
If they put their minds to it, they can make their city a wasteland.
Dystopian horror show.
Just like every other country has managed.
Right?
They'll get there.
They'll get there. On the Nintendo front, also, Pokemon Go has lost over 10 million players. The game peaked after 2 to 3 weeks after release. Excuse me. Its number of daily active users, though, has been steadily trending down. So it had, like, 45 million active players, and has now dropped to closer to 30 million. So there's still 30 million active players. It's a ton of people.
Yeah.
It's less subscribers than PewDiePie.
Yeah, well.
But it's still a huge drop in a relatively short amount of time.
Oh, yeah. Well, maybe if they just fix the game, it would...
Maybe they would. But don't worry, there's been an update. A really, really great update.
Are we going to talk about that now or talk about it later?
Let's talk about it now, because it's one of our voted stories, but I feel like it's the one we would be more inclined to talk about anyway.
And we're doing good on time.
We're doing good on time, and it's very relevant to this whole Pokemon Go situation, and the fact they haven't fixed the damn game yet. So they did update Pokemon Go. They've updated it from version 0.35.0.
Why did you put the extra .0 on it?
To 1.5.0.
Why
Which is very nonsensical.
Why the extra .0?
So it adds one thing to the game. I know what you're thinking right now. Did it fix the tracking?
I assume that's what they were going to do.
Does it fix the crashing glitches?
That would also make sense.
Does it make the GPS work?
I mean, that's also a problem.
Does it fix gyms and make them, do what they're supposed to? Does it fix anything relevant? The answer to that is no. It adds a new feature. It adds a feature where you can talk to your team leader, either Blanche, Candela, or Spark.
I'm all about Spark.
All about that Spark. You and me, Team
It's got
Instinct.
so much enthusiasm.
The other two are boring. And they can appraise your Pokemon. So you can be like, hey, Spark, look at my Electabuzz. And he'll be like, wow, your Electabuzz is really big. That's it.
What happens if your Pokemon suck?
They're like, oh, this is the lamest. It's not very good. And I guess the point of this is that the Pokemon you catch have hidden... So this is a thing from, like, the regular Pokemon games where there's hidden numbers in the Pokemon statistics that determine their maximum stats.
Oh, I didn't know
when
that.
they're being leveled up. Yes.
Ah.
So you could catch, for example, a Caterpie that's going to end up being way better than an average Caterpie. Just because. But there's no direct way to check this in the game. And now they've added this. This has apparently been in Pokemon Go as well. So some Pokemon just like you get this Spearow, and this Spearow can have a higher max CP than this Spearow. So that's what it is. And based on what the the team leader tells you, I guess, you can determine how like good your Pokemon is, like how much potential it has.
Okay.
So,
I mean, that's
great.
That's fine, I guess. But who cares?
Fix the game.
Yeah.
Like, this is so annoying. Jeez, like, somebody had to work on this update to put it out. Why didn't they work on fixing the game?
Yeah, really, you shouldn't have people working on this. You should have all of your available people working on the parts of the game that don't work.
This is why people are stopping playing. Because you're adding this stupid crap. Like, my God.
You're just like, hey fans, you want a working game? Well, instead we're gonna give you a slap in the face.
You love it.
Right in the jowls.
Right in the jowls.
Ugh. Niantic, why?
Harvest Moon's creator is making a new game.
Oh yeah, they're making a Minecraft.
Yeah. Yasuhiro Wada, best known as the creator of Harvest Moon franchise, is creating a game called Birthdays.
Now this is from an article from Polygon from the 25th.
Which is today.
Which is today. Brand new news, hot off the presses.
Yeah. So it's not like a Harvest Moon game.
It doesn't look like one. There's like a minute and a half trailer thing for it.
It's a PS4 game due out in Japan in January with a Western release planned for later next year. And you tend to a miniature garden, quote unquote, but that garden is actually the entire world.
Oh.
You take the form of a magical being with the power to recreate the world to your liking. You're God.
We're playing Goddess right now.
Yeah. This means dinosaurs. There's dinosaurs roaming around atop this cubic landmass that is very similar to Minecraft.
Oh, yeah.
Or Terraria or that kind of thing. Filled with plants and mountains, the placement of which is all up to you. Arc System Works is actually developing this, which is interesting. The people who make lots of fighting games like Blaze Blue and whatnot. They worked on all those.
That's cool. Those are cool games, but why would they make this?
Because why not?
I guess.
They make other stuff too. They made other stuff.
I don't know. I don't know about that.
So, global gardeners will be able to share their creations with others, which makes it sound like a jumping off point for like a much bigger idea here. So maybe there will be more interplay between players going on in this. It's very unclear what exactly you will be doing in this. Wada has also not been with the Harvest Moon developer since 2010. Instead, he was working on games like Little King's Story and one of my favorites, Deadly Premonition.
Oh my god, Deadly Premonition.
What a masterpiece.
I didn't realize that the guy who made that was the guy who made Harvest Moon.
Oh, well, he didn't. He's not the creator of Deadly Premonition.
Oh.
He worked on it.
Oh.
Swery65 is the creator of Deadly Premonition.
Okay.
Because his name has a number in it.
Well, yeah.
Because the person who creates Deadly Premonition obviously has a number in their name.
Yeah, well, it's because his gamer tag / Twitter handle / social media tag persona is just the same as his real name.
Yes.
Because of course it is.
It works out. It's perfect.
But no, I thought that trailer was weird because it was just like, oh, hey, look, you can do things like in Minecraft. Or I guess actually more aptly, it's do things like in Goddess, because you've got the
cute dinosaurs.
Yeah, you have the god perspective, and you are manipulating the landmass in a much more similar way to Goddess than Minecraft. The art style just looks like Minecraft.
The game is called Birthdays. That implies some form of time progression. We only see dinosaurs in the trailer. Do you believe that might imply that this game will go through time periods? That the world will evolve?
That would be interesting.
As you go and get bigger? Because I think that'd be really cool. But the trailer doesn't show us any of that, or hint at any of it, really.
Yeah, that's...
the name does, though.
I feel like they just goofed to that trailer. Because they didn't give us a good idea of what we should look forward to with the game.
No, they did not. Dark Souls 3 had its first downloadable content pack announced. Of the two that they said they were going to be.
Now, this pack is going to come out in the fall?
It's coming out on October 25th.
Is it going to be all spoopy?
Of course it's going to be spoopy. It's Dark Souls 3. It's called Ashes of Ariandel. Launches on the 25th. There's a trailer out for it that's very cool. You are going to be exploring the tundra of Ariandel in this DLC. which will obviously include armor, weapons, spells, new bosses. It's all new areas, etc., etc.
I mean, that Dark Souls DLC is always A+.
Yeah. It actually has, like, all of their DLC packs since Dark Souls 2, when they did the first ones they did, have been consistently some of the best content in every game. And they're all made after the fact. They're not, like, just gutted content from the game, which is, like,
the way it's
better.
Supposed to work.
It's, like, the prime example of how DLC should be.
Yeah.
Because the 3 packs for Dark Souls 2 were fantastic, best part of that game. Bloodborne's DLC is probably one of the best DLC packs ever put out. Ever.
Wow. If
If not the best. It's incredible. And I'm, given how much I like Dark Souls 3 as well, I am really excited for what this has to offer us. A lot of people are really excited because the trailer alludes to some story and lore things that were kind of hinted at in Dark Souls 3 that tie back in Dark Souls 1, that a lot of people seem to think, based on this new trailer, this DLC is going to get into more.
Look at that! Look at that Snowy Glen screenshot.
With the spooky ghost.
With the spooky ghost.
It's very cool looking. That's really dark. There's some gross, like, fly head dudes. Look at that guy.
Ew.
He's really gross looking. There's a big dude with a bowl who keeps, like, whipping himself in the trailer. Looks great. I love snow areas. I'm a huge sucker for snow areas. Let's put a snow area in it.
Let's throw it in.
I love video games with snow. Konami. We talked last week about Metal Gear Survive. Konami's first Metal Gear outing without Kojima.
And our thoughts on it were basically like, I don't know, this could actually be good. Maybe they don't deserve for it to be good, but it could be.
Like, there's definitely... I got some salt. But I'm not going to say, oh, the game's going to suck, because it probably won't. It's built in the Fox engine.
Oh, that engine.
It's so good.
That dynamic lighting effect it can do.
All of it's so good.
It's so good.
So I feel like the game... like, it's just kind of... the game just feels like more a slap in the face than anything. And a lot of people are really mad about it. You and I are pretty, like, neutral about it.
Yeah, it turns out when we were... I think as everyone always does, we underestimated the hatred that could spew forth from the internet.
Yep. Eurogamer spoke with this is an article from Destructoid from the 20th. And Eurogamer apparently spoke with a Konami representative named Richard Jones about this new Metal Gear. And Jones has confirmed co-op play, stealth, a variety of weapons and devices, and the game will not be $60, which we already know. There's little information in here other than it will be co-op, and despite the nature of the trailer, which just shows a bunch of zombie action more or less, the game will have stealth as a major component of gameplay, which makes sense because that's already, like, built into the Fox engine to be able to do stuff like that, so they should take advantage of it. And they said there will be stealth, and one of the really interesting things that we'll be exploring and playing with is how stealth and co-op can actually coexist. Yada yada yada, developer hype talk. So you're gonna have, like, players are gonna have different stats. You gotta fight bosses and stuff together, but nothing he says really remedies the fact or addresses the elephant in the room as to why people are mad about this game in the first place. Which is mostly that it has the Metal Gear name on it.
It doesn't really seem anything like a Metal Gear game.
No. I mean, the trailer shows that there might be some sort of Metal Gear-like creature in it. But I don't know.
We'll just have a giant chicken walker mech.
Yeah, why not?
And all the zombies will be hanging out with it.
A bigger problem that a lot of people are having too, and I'm glad that a lot of people are upset about this, is that they were like, oh my god, we need to do a new Metal Gear game. You know what's hip right now? Zombies.
Yep.
Like,
zombies aren't even hip anymore.
That's your go-to, zombies. Like, that makes a lot of people... I read people's thoughts about this and people bringing this up, and I hadn't really thought about it, but the moment I read it, I completely agreed that, like, it being zombies makes it way less interesting than it could have been.
Yeah.
Like, they could have done just about anything else.
Just about anything
and it would have been more intriguing to me than zombies. So, if they bungled anything, it's probably that.
Well, you know, bungling their premise, that's not a bad sign, right?
Yeah, sure.
Fine.
Neo, Koei Tecmo's Is it Koei Tecmo?
Oh, so we're not talking. So we're not talking about Keanu Reeves, nor are we talking about the PlayStation Neo.
No, Neo means New King. Is a game that Team Ninja's been working on post Itagaki, post Oatmeal Crisis. Because he's no longer there. Neo came out, sort of. They did a beta demo of it that you could download and give feedback on. And they said after that they're like, wow, our feedback was so great on this, we're going to do this again. And they did it again.
They did
As
it
of
again.
August 23rd, the second demo is now out, which features the old content as well as a brand new area, training sequence, new items, and the ability to unlock ancillary DLCs by completing the whole thing. Truthfully, it's a lot more robust than a lot of full games, says this Destructoid article.
Mm-hmm.
So if you want something fun to play, you should check it out. I am totally going to download this. You have until September 6th to play it, because I missed out on the first beta. I kept forgetting to download it. But I really want to play this game. It's like a feudal Japan... I guess it's not feudal Japan, it's like 1800s Japan, sort of. Fantasy adventure game, very in the vein of the Souls games, if you look at it, but with a lot of very unique features all its own as well. It's pretty cool. It's been very well received. So check that out if you like that kind of stuff. Guess who's going to be in Death Stranding?
Oh my god.
A Hideo Kojima game.
A Hideo Kojima game. This is a really funny story, and this is an article from GameSpot. Apparently,
his freaking face.
Oh my god. So Kojima, you know how he loves to tease. That's like his thing. He loves it. I mean,
Yeah.
you saw the Death Stranding trailer.
And when people asked him what's up with Death Stranding, he was like, oh, I want to tease you.
Yeah.
He flat out said, I want people to not know what's going on here.
So one of the things he then posted to either Instagram
It was on
or
his
Twitter.
Because he's like, oh, I love Mads Mikkelsen so much.
Yeah, well, no, he posted this picture, and it's literally just a close-up of a light.
In a recording studio of some kind.
And in the background is a guy wearing
an orange sweatshirt.
An orange sweatshirt.
And Kojima just said, adjusting.
Adjusting. Because he wanted to tease us.
Yes.
And then, what is it, a day later or something? This kid who, I assume he was an intern. Who knows, though?
He's an Instagram user.
He's on Instagram, and he just takes a selfie with Mads Mikkelsen, who's the guy, for those who don't know.
Hannibal, right?
Yeah, from the Hannibal television show. He's going to be the villain in the upcoming Doctor Strange movie.
He's just a creepy looking guy.
He plays villains really well. He's a good actor. So the guy takes a picture with him, and what is Mads wearing?
But that exact same sweatshirt.
The exact same one.
Exactly.
So everyone, all those internet sleuths were like, oh my gosh, this means...
And in 2015, in January, Kojima called Mads Mikkelsen his favorite actor.
Wow.
So
put
some potential here.
When you put all those puzzle pieces together,
and
it
I
means
feel like if you showed Mads Mikkelsen the Death Stranding trailer, he'd be like, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Let's do that.
Probably.
Given his body of work so far.
So he's going to be in Death Stranding. Who knows who he's going to be? Who knows who the characters are in that game?
Who knows if any of those characters are even in it?
Will Mads be the fetus?
Norman Fetus, played by Mads Mikkelsen. You're a failure, Norman.
I really want Norman...
The face on the baby just transmogrifies.
I really want Norman Reedus now to not have any lines, but just emote through his facial capture and strange guttural noises.
I want Norman Reedus to give man birth to Mads Mikkelsen in this game.
Hey, you joke, we joke. But there's a good chance that will happen.
Good chance it'll happen. A game... This is August 24th, Polygon article. There's a game coming out this October called 100-Foot Robot Golf. It's about playing golf in 100-foot tall robots.
It's pretty self-explanatory.
Yes. You can also play... A playable character in the game is 5 dogs. This character is known collectively as Project C. And they are charming corgis which act as the Voltron of dogs. Each of them is a pilot of their own dog-shaped robot, which then forms together to create a huge man-shaped robot. And their power move is to throw a broadsword, which cuts skyscrapers in half. This game is about golf. It looks interesting, like a fun little diversion, so I thought I would mention it here. Look at those corgis. The one with the red bandana is the leader. You can tell.
Amazing.
Fez just got a huge update by one of the programmers, Renaud Bedard, who now works at Square Enix Montreal. So it wasn't Phil Fish, so I don't have to give Phil Fish any props, as I like to do.
Yeah.
And this is 9 years old, and he's like, I shipped Fez 1.11, and I had the intention of making fixes on features because I didn't have time at the time, so I finally put out this patch, and I didn't want to announce that I was doing it so that, like, people wouldn't have, like, expectations or get impatient. So I've just been working on it, and now I put it out because I finished it 9 years later.
9 years later.
But it does a ton of stuff. It's like tons and tons of like glitch and quality of life and just performance fixes that make the game like run way better. So if you like Fez or been looking for a reason to play it for the first time or replay it, like get on that, because there you go. It's perfect now.
It's finally perfect.
Time Magazine made an article of the 50 best games of all time.
Yeah, we scammed it.
It's like real safe. It's like the safest article ever.
Oh my god, it's just like...
so safe.
Did you know Guitar Hero is on it?
GoldenEye 007, Diablo 2, Wowie Wow Wow, Space Invaders, sure. Rise of the Tomb Raider at number 18 is an odd pick.
That is an odd pick.
It just stood out. That one stood out to me. Half-Life 2, Grand Theft Auto 3, Counter-Strike, Quake, SimCity 2000, Final Fantasy 6. They do rank Final Fantasy VI higher than Final Fantasy VII, which I thought was interesting.
Oh my god.
That's like the least safe thing that they did. But it's still very safe because almost everyone says Final Fantasy VI is like just as good. Civilization 4, the top 10 being World of Warcraft at 10, Oregon Trail at 9.
Oh, okay.
Sure. Super Mario Bros. At 8.
Yeah.
Legend of Zelda, the original one, at 7. Mm-hmm. Minecraft at 6. Sure. Miss Pac-Man at 5. Doom at 4.
Nice.
Ocarina of Time at 3. Super Mario 64 at 2.
I don't know about that.
Tetris at 1.
Tetris at 1.
Wow, you guys so safe.
This is exactly what I expected from Time Magazine.
Also, Super Mario 64 when it came out was like revolutionary and like amazing and everything.
Because it was 3D.
Man, that game aged like milk.
Oh no.
It's just so bad looking now. Like, it's ugly, it slows down, like, it's janky. Like, it doesn't look good anymore, and it doesn't, like, really hold up play-wise. At least not to me.
No.
I'll probably have flack for that, but, like,
I think
Ocarina of Time holds up way better.
Also, and I think a lot of the earlier Mario games just hold up better than 64 does.
Yeah, but 64 still gets lauded with praises. And I guess for the time, it was a big deal.
Oh, well, of course. But, I mean, because it was really one of the first big 3D games.
Yeah.
And there's a lot to be said for that.
Yeah.
But I don't think it deserves number 2.
No. And, like, Tetris, sure. Because Tetris is basically, like, a perfect game.
It is the perfect game. It has the perfect soundtrack.
Yes.
That's true.
That is also true.
Undeniable.
Our other vote story, because we got, like, a minute to talk about it real quick, was about how Overwatch... Blizzard has been constantly teasing the next new Overwatch character since, like, before Ana even came out as a character. A character named Sombra, who is mentioned by Reaper and in several documents in the game and stuff like that. And the Overwatch community has been digging up any hints they possibly can about this character. And now, like, the Overwatch forums have started to get hacked, quote-unquote, by this unknown hacker.
Oh my god.
And there's been countdowns to nothing, and people are like, what's going on? Oh my god. And I'm assuming it's just gonna be a reveal that it's like, you know, you're just a hacker character who can hack stuff.
Bastion, no!
No!
He's gonna exploit Bastion's PTSD!
That's cruel. That's unkind.
I know, right?
I would be curious to see how they could pull off some sort of like hacking-based character, and how would they have abilities that mess with other players' abilities or something?
Probably.
Because that could be fascinating.
Would they mess with players more that are playing robot characters?
No, because that'd be...
Because then, that would balance.
Because there's hard counters to every character, but that seems like too apparent and blatant a hard counter.
Yeah.
Also, wresting control from a player in that capacity seems not okay for a game like this.
Yeah.
And the ability to, like, a mind control, so to speak, a character in this. Because they have, like, Mei can freeze people. Ana can put people to sleep for a short period of time. Like, there are abilities... McCree has a stun grenade. Like, there are abilities that deny you control of your character for a period of time. But to give that control to another player that's too much.
Yeah.
Unless that ability has, like, a ridiculous cooldown. But, I don't know. We'll see. Sombra will come out at some point.
So Blizzard just keeps hyping it.
Blizzard's hyping up Sombra real hard. We got the new map coming out. Overwatch going strong. It looks great.
It does look great.
Yeah. And now I guess we got another character coming soon. Rolling them on out now that Ana's like more or less balanced out. So,
we're gonna round out the show with some of the games that have just come out and are coming out, just to keep you up to date on them.
What just came out? Metroid Prime Federation Force. Sure.
To a rousing chorus of yawns, I'm sure.
Deus Ex Mankind Divided. Deus Ex.
Actually, people are very excited about that.
Yes.
And I've been hearing...
It's been getting, like, pretty good reviews.
Yeah, people have been really into it.
Funnily enough, I've seen one of the biggest criticisms be leveled at the story.
Oh.
Being that it's too heavy-handed in its themes.
A game called Deus Ex Mankind Divided has a heavy-handed narrative?
Yes.
What? I would not have guessed. No, but Master of Orion Conquer the Stars is finally out. I haven't had a chance to check that, to check out the finished version. But yeah,
the new Worms game came out, and I've actually heard really good things about it.
Oh, wait, really?
Yeah, like a lot of people really like it.
We were joking about it last week.
No, but a lot of people are saying it's like the best Worms game that's come out in a very long time.
Well, that's great.
Yeah, I might actually pick it up.
They needed a good Worms game.
Worms is fun.
It is.
We got upcoming...
Oh, man, tomorrow. Steins, Gate. Zero.
On Windows. I don't know what that is.
There's a semicolon.
I know what Steins Gate is, but I don't know what this is.
Also, there's going to be an Attack on Titan video game that's coming out on literally every platform. It's coming out on the Windows, the PS4, the PS3,
Nintendo.
the Vita, and the Xbox.
Is this the one that like looks okay by Koei Tecmo? Yeah, it is. So
we'll see. Apparently, it sold a bunch of copies in Japan. Like it outsold Street Fighter V.
That's unsurprising.
I thought Street Fighter V sold real well, though.
Street Fighter V sold okay.
Oh, okay.
Didn't do gangbusters or anything. And Japan loves Attack on Titan.
Well, they definitely do. That's certainly true.
Hatsune Miku Project Diva X on the Vita and the PS4. You can get God Eater Resurrection and God Eater 2 Rage Burst on the PC.
Gross.
And Rage Burst is also on PS4 and Vita. You should just play Monster Hunter, though.
Yeah, you can get Resident Evil 4 is coming to the PS4 and the Xbone.
Good. It's like the best Resident Evil game.
Yeah. We've also got some games that
World of Warcraft Legion comes out on the 30th?
Yeah, that's the big one.
I didn't even realize it was so close.
Their ad campaign is insane. Like, I see ads for this everywhere.
I haven't seen any
And I have ad blockers on all of my browsers, and I still see
ads. Not strong enough.
I know, they're not strong enough to take down Illidan.
They're not prepared.
They're not prepared. So, but that's coming out on Windows and Mac on the 30th. That's going to be a big thing.
Yeah. That's what we got. I guess the 1st of September we could talk about, because One Piece Burning Blood is coming out on the PC. That's weird. It's a fighting game.
That is weird. Why
is a One Piece fighting game coming out on PC?
It's a strange port idea.
Yeah.
But that's pretty much it.
Yeah.
We're gonna leave now.
Bye, everybody. Shouldn't we do our outro?
Yeah, we should do our outro. That was going to be the joke, Dan.
Oh.
But no, you've been listening to Don't Copy That Floppy, a video game news podcast broadcasting every week on Fridays, 7 to 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week we were broadcasting on Thursday because we had some stuff going on, so it was a little different. But if you're listening to this recorded, then what do you care? So we do all sorts of video game news. We broadcast on www.chipit.net, so check us out there. You can also find us on all sorts of other places, social media places such as Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Steam, iTunes, most recently Twitch, which is like sort of not entirely up and running yet, but we're working on it. Next couple weeks. You can also support the show by going to patreon.com and searching for Don't Copy That Floppy, and you will be able to find us on there, and you can donate money every month so that we can create more content.
For you.
For you.
It's for you.
You can, you'll be
all
able...
for you. This one's for you, Morph.
Turkey.
Turkey.
but no, you can. There are different reward tiers where you can get either the ability to vote on articles every week, additional articles for us to cover. You can submit your own articles if you pay a little more. Also, you get access to bonus content if you pay a certain amount of money, which we're about to record in probably a few minutes.
Yeah,
and you'll get bonus podcast
maybe a half
content.
Hour or so a month. Of us just talking about whatever.
Just talking about whatever. Non-video game stuff.
Yes, we do have our strict no video games policy on that.
Yeah.
Just like we try to keep our strict video games only policy on this.
Which we always break at least.
We're very segregated.
Oh. But yeah, so all those things, check us out. Also, there are some other shows on chipbit.net that you should check out.
There are.
Time. Remix Mondays? I think that's the name of it. Yeah, probably. Yes, Remix Mondays is a live show on Mondays where they play cool remixes of chiptune music. It's a good time.
Yeah.
And then around the middle of the week, usually on Tuesday or Wednesday, not broadcasting live, but up on the site, is the Inner Geek podcast, which is done by my friend Andy and myself.
And guest starred a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, we always have like a bunch of random guest stars of just people that Andy knows.
I'll probably be on it again at some point too.
Yeah, I think you will. And it's about comic books and other geeky stuff. Like sometimes we talk about games. Primarily it's comic books and comic book related things.
Comic book movies and tie-ins and things like that.
So if you're into that, definitely check that out on the chipbit.net site. Am I forgetting anything? I don't think so. I think I covered all the bases.
So all that's left now is for people to just remember that the Morlocks formally invite the X-Men to Christmas dinner.
It's important.
But also, don't copy that floppy.